All right, thanks for joining us. So we're not sure if you've heard the news or not, but Battle Mountain Football decided to fold their varsity program. This left many Huskies displaced who are looking forward to taking the gridiron this fall, but luckily, they've all found a new home.
Once summer hits, anticipation is something every football player at Vail Christian feels.
At the end of the season, you're kind of ready for a little bit of rest, but once that idea comes of you're going to be playing football soon, you really want to get after it.
This feeling also struck the players of neighboring school Battle Mountain until a stunning announcement came.
So what was your immediate thought when you heard Battle Mountain Football was folding their program this season?
Wow. Like, Battle Mountain, because I play for Eagle Valley for lacrosse, has always been my rival. They've always been this, top tier team, and the fact that they lost their football team is just crazy to me.
Mediocre seasons and minimal interest to play sealed the program's fate to forego their varsity season. The players who still wanted to take the field were left to find a new home, where many landed at Vail Christian. The transition so far, a blessing in disguise.
I like it more. I like the intensity more. Everyone's always eager to get better. They're always looking for to fight for that one open roster spot or fight for a position that they know they should have. So I like the competition better.
All 5 former Battle Mountain players are grateful to be on a roster and gel excellent with their new team. The new faces also excite the Vail Christian players.
We're normally a small, quick team, but with some of these Battle Mountain kids, they're huge. It's going to be a lot of fun to have a really good line and to be able to throw and run better.
We're hoping to take this team far. Definitely win league, hopefully get to state, and hopefully win.
So for now, Battle Mountain's merger with Vail Christian is a success, but one question still remains.
Imagine Battle Mountain jumpstarts their program again. Would you go back?
I wouldn't trade this for anything now. I'm excited.
Vail Christian kicks off their season at home against Dolores Huerta Prep.
Now we'll head over to Vail Mountain School, where the boys soccer team is coming off that Class 2A state championship still, and entering a new season, they've got one thing on their minds.
Vail Mountain School boys soccer is still high on winning their first state championship. Now in a new season, they believe
we're going to go back to back. That's all I got to say.
This team is talented, but down key starters from last year. However, there's still hope for this team's ambitions.
I would love to see Rutley playing Division I soccer one day. I would love to see him wear a USA soccer jersey one day. I think if that's something that he wants to do, he's got the work ethic and the mentality to do it.
Junior midfielder Rutley Heineman is the reigning 2A state player of the year. Heineman punched in 14 goals last season, but he's more than a scoring machine.
He really just gives us confidence, I think. Having a player like that, having someone lead us all the way to a final, basically carried us throughout the whole season last year. But yeah, it gives us confidence. We can give him the ball and know something good's about him.
Heineman's talent goes without question.
Oh yeah, Hank!
But when talking with him about the spotlight surrounding him this upcoming season, he explained the credit goes to someone else.
I can only really thank my teammates. It was amazing. They congratulated me. They're amazing.
So a lot of gratitude from you there towards your teammates, but with that being said, what do you and your teammates need to focus on in order to get back to the state championship this season?
I feel like it's really coming together. Like the way we did last year as a team, we kind of just clicked during the playoffs, and that's, I think, how a team kind of just gets through any season.
And how confident are you in your team's abilities to execute?
We're ready. We're ready to go. Yeah, we're all excited. We're ready to play. We're ready to start the season, and we're ready to win a bet.
Vail Mountain School boys soccer kicks off their season against Moffett County. Now, in their season opener, Vail Mountain School boys soccer would go on to mercy rule Moffett County 11-0, and this game would end after the first half. We caught up with head coach Kevin Ives to gather his thoughts after the game on the Gore Rangers' performance.
All right, so we're over at Vail Mountain School, where the boys just had their season opener. Boys soccer over here, Gore Rangers looking pretty good. 11-0 finish to the start of this game. Ended after the first half over that mercy rule. Joining me right now is head coach Kevin Ives. So, Coach, how are we feeling after that first game, season opener?
Yeah, we're feeling really great. Very confident and happy with how the boys took the field today and competed. And we know this is just like the first step along for a long journey, but always looking to just get better each and every single day. And now we're moving on to Steamboat.
Okay, and maybe down a couple players from last year's team. How do you feel like those guys, who've stepped up this season played today?
Yeah, absolutely wonderful. I mean, we had 2 freshmen today playing in their first varsity game. We had some sophomores that were key players last year on our JV team that are now in the starting 11. So I think that's, the story of a successful program is, you always graduate successful, strong seniors, but then it's just up to the next class to step into that and kind of carry on that tradition.
And it's early in the season. This is the first game of y'all's schedule. How important is it to get those guys on the field who have less exposure at the kind of freshman, sophomore level? How important is it to get those guys some playing time?
Oh, it's absolutely critical. First just getting them individually comfortable and then just getting them comfortable playing alongside their teammates. It's all about just giving them exposure, giving them opportunities. And yeah, I think they did tremendous today.
And we got to talk about Rutley Heineman a little bit. That kid had 3 goals, was a menace on the field today. What did you see from his performance today that really stood out?
Rutley's a tremendous player. He's so much fun to watch. He does a great job. He does all the right things. He plays hard. He gets his teammates involved. So yeah, just really looking excited to him kind of leading the way, and a lot of our other players looking up to him for his leadership. And it's going to be fantastic.
All right, and we got to talk about the defense a little bit today. I don't think I saw a single shot on goal today. How do you feel all around about how your defense matched up with Moffett County today?
Yeah, I think we matched up great. I think defensively we have a lot of new faces across our back 4. We have a lot of young guys that are going to get opportunities to kind of show what they have and see how they progress throughout the season. But I think overall I'm very happy with how the back line played today. They played very confidently. They kept Moffett pinned in on their defensive third, which then made it a lot easier for our midfield and our attackers to kind of stay into the attack. Yeah, it was fantastic.
And Kevin, I mean, mercy ruling a team in the first half is a big deal, and especially in your season opener. Has your expectation changed at all for this season based on the results of the outcome of this game at all?
I don't think the expectations changed, but I think today just really showed that we have a lot of talent. The talent's definitely there to compete, as we get into the state playoffs. So I think the boys know that. I'm really starting to see them come together as a unit over the last 2 weeks into this season. So again, it's just going to be continuing to develop, stay healthy, and then get our younger players a lot of opportunities on the field.
And Steamboat Springs is up next on the schedule. You guys got to go up to Steamboat and play on their field. What do you think the biggest challenge is going to be up in Steamboat?
Just the environment. Steamboat has a great fan base. The games are always live. We have a great rivalry there. Us, because we don't have lights on our field, we don't get to play any night games. So we always relish, the opportunity to play under the lights. So we're expecting a great environment, very strong 4A opponent that's going to be physical, strong, and disciplined. So yeah, it's going to be a great early season test for us.
Okay, and with that being said, what do you guys need to work on this week in order to get prepared for that game up in Steamboat?
Yeah, I mean, it's a simple answer. I think, just having our full team here. School's still yet to start for us. We just got a large contingent of our VSSA boys back from a ski trip. So we've only had 2 practices as a full varsity roster. So I think for us, it's just repetition and getting comfort playing alongside our teammates.
Okay, and thanks. Anything you want to add?
No, absolutely. Just really looking forward to this season. And, I think it's going to be a great one.
Awesome. Thanks, Coach. Good luck.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
So sticking with soccer, in their second game of the season, Battle Mountain High boys soccer took on neighboring county Summit High.
The Huskies looking for their second win of the season, while the Summit Tigers were on the prowl for their first victory. After missing out on an early opportunity, senior striker Cooper Skidmore locates the deflection and puts the egg in the nest for the Huskies to go up 1-0 on the Tigers. A little over 17 minutes in the half, marching down the field, it's senior forward Alexis Dozell, who taps this past the keeper to take Battle Mountain up 2-0. Under 2 minutes to go in the first half, the Huskies working together. The ball finds its way to midfielder Leo Martinez, who sneaks it into the corner. Battle Mountain would go up 3-0 at the half and later scribble a win on their record as they knock off Summit County 5-0 and remain unscored on this season. Checking in on some other scores from around the valley, Eagle Valley, they're going to knock off Palisade to improve to 1-0 on the season. Glenwood Springs fell short of Steamboat and Basalt, knocked off Telluride, and will sit at 500 this year.
Now we'll take a quick little trip down I-70 where Vail Mountain School girls volleyball is experiencing something new this year. They have 8 seniors on their team this year and believe those seniors could bring them some success.
Changes go hand in hand with new seasons, some simple, some challenging. However, there's one change Gore Ranger Volleyball is looking forward to.
Pretty much our whole starting lineup is going to be seniors, and so it's pretty exciting to see, think about what they might be able to do this year.
8 seniors return to play their final season of high school volleyball at VMS. Senior Sage Evans points out the biggest strength of a veteran group.
We have all been playing together since at least our freshman year, and that kind of bond that we've all created together has definitely made us a stronger team because we can all kind of trust each other. We know how all of us play, and all of our seniors are great leaders on the team, so I think each of us have something else to offer.
Although this team is experienced, they need a purpose. A playoff team in 3 of the last 4 seasons, but they'd like to see an appearance at the state tournament. Senior Quincy Prebramski is confident the Gore Rangers can go the distance.
The team is already playing super well together, so I think once we put that into a game, we'll really have great communication and we'll be really molded as a team where we can work as one instead of each individual.
Vail Mountain School Volleyball kicks off their season at home against Highland.
Nap Harvest, your local marketplace for fresh, locally produced products. Our indoor farmers market is open 7 days a week, featuring locally grown organic produce, prepared meals, honey from our Nap Nectar hive, furniture, cutting boards, and much more. We source and sell locally grown and produced products from the Vail and Roaring Fork Valleys. Visit us at our new location in Eagle Ranch, 717 Sylvan Lake Road, next door to Color Coffee Roasters.
Hello everyone, now is the time to refresh your floors. I'm Mandy Benedict. I'd love to invite you into our showroom to explore our 12,000 square foot showroom where you can view all different floors installed, see what it looks like in a larger space. One of our greatest growing products is waterproof wood flooring, which for our environment with kids and dogs and ski boot and our mountain lifestyle, this is a great flooring option. I brought one of the planks with me today. They're nice, long, wide planks. They're embossed on grain, so they look beautiful, but they perform really well in our mountain lifestyle. We have all employee installers. They've been working for over a decade with us, and we have a lifetime installation warranty. So not only do we make sure that the client gets what they want, we know what this climate needs. We have beautiful reclaimed floors, herringbone, really anything that you're looking for to update your home or your business. We have it at Rugs Benedict. We provide free estimates. So come in and visit us in the store. We'd love to see you.
Eyepieces of Vail has been a fixture in the Vail community for over 30 years. From designer frames and sunglasses to high-performance sports frames, prescription goggles, and in-demand accessories like helmets, goggle lenses, and foldable reading glasses, our inventory raises the optical bar. Visit one of our 7 locations today and see why generations of loyal customers return time after time for our unmatched service and inventory. Eyepieces, the art of vision.
Now, last year there was a lot of hype surrounding Eagle Valley's boys cross country team because there were so many firsts done for the program last year. But they've lost their star runner, Jake Drever, to Boise State, but nevertheless, this program is still confident for the season ahead.
So I'm with head coach of Eagle Valley, Melinda Brandt, and there's a fall season approaching for the Devils this season. How are you doing, Coach?
We are really looking forward to it. Today's our first day of practice, and we got a great group out. We have about 45 on our roster right now.
Okay, and kind of walk through me, there's a lot going on behind us. What's about to take place?
On the first day, we always do a 2-mile time trial. We just want to see where kids are at after their summer training. It also helps us identify their pace for workouts so we can move forward with workouts at the right pace for them.
New year, new season, a lot of success last year. What's the expectation as the head coach of this Devils program?
Yeah, I think it's to keep moving forward and keep that trajectory. I knew we were a top 10 team for about the last 2 years. We just couldn't pull it together at the end. So in 2022, to be 4th at state, we want to be right back there this year. I'd love to see us higher at regionals. We were 3rd in the region, but 4th at state. So our region's one of the toughest regions, and we came back and beat all the teams, or we beat the teams that beat us and the regionals, and then Central beat us. So we just want to be that top team from the Western Slope this year for the fellas. And the girls are making a big comeback. We're putting the pieces together. We got some new pieces on the girls' side, so we're really looking forward to seeing how they'll compete this year.
Okay, and last year you lost 2 of your top seniors from last year's team. They were very successful and talented runners in themselves, but do you see anyone else stepping up to kind of fill that gap?
Yes, our boys team is really deep, which has been awesome. They just keep coming up the pipeline. They see the success. They want to be a part of it. Jake is off to Boise State, but I think that between the Blair boys, Cooper, Armando, guys coming up that didn't score last year but will score this year, it's going to be really fun to just see. I think we will be better and more competitive as a team this year as some of those younger guys get bigger, faster, stronger.
Okay. And talk to me a little bit about Jake. You're obviously losing him from last season, but he's such a special kid, you know, very talented. Also ran a 15:19:40 for his PR last season, the first Devil ever to break that 16-minute mark. How special was it to coach a kid like Jake who was just so talented?
He was great. He did all the little things right, and as he got older, he started to just keep getting stronger and really dug into the little pieces. So I think our kids see that. They see that one of their peers did something really special, broke 16 not just once, but 6 times over the season. And so it wasn't just a fluke run. He just kept throwing down awesome times. So to have the other guys see them, and they know they want to go out after that. So now that 16's been broken, I think the kids are just going to keep going after that. So I think we could have 3 or 4 guys under that mark this year, which would be phenomenal. Well, not under his school record, but under 16. I think I would not be surprised by that. That's kind of the goal for them. So yeah.
Okay, awesome. And you guys, your best finish ever in program history was 11th. Last year, you guys go to states and blow that out of the water with 4th. With that finish, what do you think's the expectation there? Like, could you go back to states this season? You just talked about some new talent there that may be able to fill in for Jake as he's gone this year. But what's kind of the expectation there? Do you want to get back up to 4th place or maybe even improve on that mark?
Yeah, I think cross country is interesting, right? Because I can't control what the other teams are doing. We can just control how much work we're putting in. And so our guys are ready to put in the work. They're ready to gel. Just a few weeks ago, we won the National High School Trail Championships with some of the guys that are returning. Jake was a part of that team too, because they get to have returning or graduated kids on those programs too. But Eagle Valley is put their name on the map again right away as the first big summer competition for the cross-country athletes. So we're really proud of those guys for going out there and doing that over the summer. So I think it's just gonna build and build and build, and we just have guys that keep stepping up, which is phenomenal. We have freshmen that are coming in that are already making some noise that are kind of surprises for us right now. So we have seniors, juniors, sophomores, freshmen that I think will all be a part of the varsity roster, and that have all had experience. Jackson Fillmore's coming up, and he's already had multiple years of varsity experience, and so it's just really fun to see the depth of our boys program and just to be strong year in and year out. But last year was really the culmination of a lot of years getting put together to finally get 4th. So it was just fantastic. The guys were stoked, and I think we can be right back there. Just kind of have to see how we compete with the other teams in the state and some of the big dog teams. We got some big races this year. Well, we'll get to see them. We have Liberty Bell on our schedule. Our first race is in the Front Range, so we get to see that. We'll get to run Junction twice this year, so we'll have the speedy times flowing for that. And then we're going to go to Indiana this year for an out-of-state race at the Nike Twilight Meet there, so they'll get some out-of-state competition too. So that'll be awesome.
Okay, awesome, Coach. And like we talked about earlier, a lot of firsts for this team last season. What first do you see for this cross-country boys program this season, maybe on the horizon?
That's a good question. I don't know. I think just having a stronger pack of guys that are all ready to take kind of that next step. So like I said, 3 or 4 guys maybe going under 16 because it's been done. Now they can chase it. So I think Jake just paved the path and other guys paved the path before Jake. So it just keeps elevating like each year, which I think is just a really great quality about our program. And on the girls side, they've seen kind of the fast girls come through, but with Ellie qualifying last year and then now having multiple girls who I think can chase her down, it's going to be really fun to see how strong they get too.
Okay, and Coach, we've talked a lot about times. You know, we've talked about Jake in the past, breaking that 16-minute mark, and maybe what some of the boys can do this season for this team to get back to that 4th spot at states or even higher. But, you know, there's a lot going on in your head with all that conjumbled in there at the same time, but I'm breaking it down easy for you right now. What are you looking forward to, just plain and simple, the most this season?
Oh, man, I just love seeing kids grow. I think that is one of my favorite things, seeing them come together as a team, seeing them find a place in the school. Eagle Valley's over 1,000 kids now, so when kids find a home with our cross-country team, that just really fuels me to say, hey, you know you're welcome here, you know you're gonna grow here. I said our word for today, even on the first day of practice, is just growth. Don't focus on how hard this 2-mile may seem on day 1, but we're gonna grow. You're gonna get better. We do this 2-mile at the end of the season too, and they see how much they've grown. Cross country is not like track where every meet is different, every course is different, and so to see them grow from a 2-mile to a 2-mile, they can see all the work they've put in. And so seeing the personal connection, seeing the leadership develop, and just seeing their personal growth is one of my highlights of the season.
Okay, so many things to look forward to this season. Any other exciting events coming up that you'd like to talk about?
Well, our exciting event is our home meet. We get to bring our home meet back. So we're going to be up at the Sienna Valley Club here on September 16th and hosting, we already have 15 teams committed, but we haven't had a home meet since 2020. So we're really excited to bring that back for the community so Gypsum and Eagle can really see all that cross country has. We'll have a kids race, a citizens race. So that is something that's really exciting for us too.
Now, after a long wait, 1970s Denver Broncos linebacker Randy Gradshire has been selected as a finalist for the Pro Football Hall of Fame class of 2024, and that's a big honor.
Gradishar was a member of the legendary 1970s Orange Crush defense that helped the Broncos to their first Super Bowl appearance. On being selected as a finalist, Gradishar says his jaw dropped and that he's been waiting 35 years for this moment to represent the Orange Crush Denver Broncos name. Gradishar will be inducted into the Hall of Fame if he's supported by at least 80% of voters next January. Down in Denver, the Broncos held joint practices with the Los Angeles Rams, who they'll play in their final preseason game of the year. Perhaps a little too early to be thinking about basketball as we've just entered the fall season, but CU basketball released their non-conference schedule for men's ball. The Buffs, they're going to take on 2 teams from the Centennial State this year in northern Colorado, and then they'll make the trip over to Fort Collins earlier to take on CSU on the hardwood. But one game that really sticks out to me here is Iona, coached by legendary head coach of the Gales, Rick Pitino, and a squad that amassed 27-8 on their schedule last season and punched a ticket to March Madness ultimately. So the Buffs will certainly find out what they're made of when they play this team, and that's a good early testament for them in the season. But another one that sticks out to me is Miami at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn, which is not only a great venue, but a strong team in the Hurricanes last year who danced all the way to the Final Four. So the Buffs, when they come out of this non-conference schedule, they're certainly going to know what they're made of entering conference play.
Now, nothing says football is back quite like the Associated Press dropping their preseason poll.
So no schools from Colorado landed in the preseason poll, but maybe we'll see Air Force inside the top 25 this season. The Falcons went 10-3 last year and were picked to finish second in the Mountain West Conference this year behind Boise State. Now looking over at the AFCA coaches poll for Division II football, Mines cracked the top 25 as the number 2 team in the country, and they're coming off that national championship loss to number 1 overall Ferris State, and you can rest assured they're determined to get back to the title game this year, though. Other Colorado schools worth noting on this poll who received votes were CSU Pueblo with 56 and Western Colorado with just 6. Staying on the gridiron, we'll have a number 2 versus number 3 showdown in Golden coming up as School of Mines takes on visiting Grand Valley. Last year, these two teams fought it out in Allendale, Michigan, where mines fell just short in a 22-25 loss. The game is set for Thursday, August 31st at 6 p.m., and it's going to be televised locally, so make sure to stay tuned for that.
You know, it's always great to see a top 5 matchup early in the season because that gives you some idea of what to expect from each team. But make sure to continue coming back to us for all the latest sports coverage around the Valley and beyond.